We ended up going out that night, and we're like deep in Long Island, and
Oh yeah, that
it's
was
about an
lovely.
hour drive, 45 minutes to an hour, depends on traffic, things like that. And it's like midnight at this point. We're out in Long Island. We're smoking hookah, dancing. It's by the boardwalk type deal. And I look at my phone, and I got text messages from my landlord, and I'm like, oh God, let me go.
Yeah.
And I text back, hey, what's going on? And I called him, and he asked me, he said, you doing something in the apartment? And I said, no, why? What's up? And he goes, there's water on the apartment under you on the third floor, right up under me. And I'm like, no, we're shooting a music video or something. And he goes, does it involve flooding the floor with water? And I said, nah, no. It's probably the toilet or something like that. I said, I'll give you a call back. I said, I'm downstairs,
I got pictures.
I'm in the street. I said, let me run upstairs. I'm not in the apartment. Let me run upstairs. And he says, okay, call me back. So I'm calling the guest.
Yeah.
The guy that booked it never picked up the phone. He wasn't even there.
Do you do remote check-in at this point? How are you doing your check-in? You haven't met this guy?
So
you got a private manager?
So no, I do it myself, right? But that's why I go back to, I don't know if we said this on camera or whatever, but when I said new construction,
yeah,
the new construction buildings, they have their own codes to get in the front door.
Right.
So I give them that, and then should I say this? I don't know. I leave a key on the inside, right? So
Leave
the
it
door,
unlocked.
yeah, I leave it unlocked, and then there's a key on the counter for them.
Gotcha.
Right. So he has the key, and they have the code to the front door, so they have everything they need.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, okay, cool. And it's one of those buildings where you don't really want to alter the locks for the apartment itself. You know what I mean? Because at this point, I'm still not even sure if I can actually do this thing.
Yeah.
One
random tip that I did when I was kind of doing it on the slide was like a lot of these smart locks, they just go on the back side. I think the August one does that, so it controls the deadbolt. And so you give them that, you just leave the bottom lock unlocked. Don't even give them that key. Use them smart lock the whole time, and then they just control it with the deadbolt. And so no one on the outside knows that you have a smart lock on the inside.
Right. Trey should have probably told me about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had like hundreds of them. Our producers, or dozens or something, a shit ton of Airbnbs.
Right.
I've had it as like side income on the side just for the past few years.
Right.
Anyway, so don't listen to me. But
no, I'm gonna take that. But I call him, and he's not picking up the phone.
Yeah, never heard from him.
Haven't heard from him. And then when he finally picks up the phone, he calls me back, and he goes, "Oh, I'm not upstairs." He gives me a number to somebody else. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So he gives me a number to his assistant. I call the assistant, and she's like, oh, the toilet flooded. So I'm like, how the hell did the toilet flood? What are y'all doing? Right? We're nervous because I go back and I tell her, look, listen, we got to get out of here. Like, it's an hour drive back to Brooklyn. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know how serious this is or anything. We get back to Brooklyn. We go
any
up.
contact in the any new details on your hour trek back?
No.
So just
No.
in the dark.
It's
In
just
the dark, like
it's just the toilet flooded, and we're trying to fix it.
And landlord, you stalling from
Right, because I told him I'll call him back because I said I'll fix it, whatever it was, I'll fix it. Right, and I told him I was outside in the street, so
you still got a little bit of time. You could be conceivably,
right, fixing the problem. So I didn't call him back until later, right? But by the time we got back, we go upstairs, and there's people scattered all over the place. The person that actually rented the Airbnb is still nowhere to be found. This anthology student that's directing this entire thing. We still don't know what it is, right? We get upstairs, and there's red cups all over the place. And it's like, what the hell is, what's going on? We look in the bathroom. By the time we got upstairs, the assistant met us and said, well, we tried to fix it, but it won't go down all the way, whatever the case is. The other thing about this new construction is,
other than the pipes should be fucking working.
they should, but they put cheap, materials.
Yeah.
So the toilet is slow flushing, right, or slow refill. So when you throw tissue in there, you got to wait for it to fill back up. That's why it started to flood. That's a sign that needs to be put up. So now it's, that's
Learning
a mental
as you
note,
go.
right?
Yes.
They still won't listen. Some of them. But.
Right, that's a mental note, and I'm like, all right, fine, cool, but we had to clean up the bathroom, and I didn't have the right plunger, So I had a sink plunger
Well, it
instead
was
of a toilet
because
plunger.
someone threw up in it.
So
and
somebody
there was throw up all over
All
the
over.
bathroom.
Everywhere. So we had to like clean it up, get some gloves. I ran to the corner store because it's New York. Corner stores are open. I go there, get some like materials. I try to find another plunger. We take all the stuff and throw it in the tub, and then try to unplunge this damn toilet.
And all the party people are just sitting there watching.
And they're watching.
They're just
and I'm like,
drunk, like, oh.
This is like crazy. So I'm like, yo, this is stupid, right? But this
have
is
you
something
seen any cameras? Are they filming anything?
No.
At this point, no.
So they had all of the equipment in a room. So
Okay.
I saw them when they first came in.
Legitimize themselves.
Yeah,
with the...
and they had like cases of soda and pizza boxes. So this is like a whole film situation. So I'm like, all right, fine. But then when we get there, nobody's helping, and they're also trying to figure out what to say to me, right? And I'm like, well, what the hell happened? Nobody knows what happened because everybody was here, and then everybody left. Turns out that the reason somebody threw up is obviously because you notice the red cups all over the place, right? And they're drinking. So when we got there, we go upstairs and I crack my door open, and there's a stripper on my table, and they're having this party in here. So as I'm looking at this,
we walked in, we seen dollar bills,
and that's not for
stuck
camera.
to the wall.
They're not filming that.